Jai Shri Ram, that's correct. The Ayodhya fever has gripped the entire country right now. So we have planned a very special show for our viewers, Ayodhya 2.0. As the Ram Temple consecration ceremony in Ayodhya draws near, preparations are underway to make the event a grand one. Following all the Shastriya protocols, the program of Pran Pratishtha will be held in Abhijit Muhurat of the afternoon of January 22nd. The formal procedures of pre-Pran Pratishtha rituals have already started, which will continue all the way till 21st of January. It will be an event like never before. In fact, our own Prime Minister Modi had called for the nation to celebrate it like Diwali. But besides the grandeur of the event, the Ram Temple is also going to have a butterfly effect on the entire economy of the state. Religious tourism is expected to gather pace, and real estate prices have already seen a massive surge. CAIT, the industry body, estimates a boost of about 50,000 crore as far as the UP economy is concerned. We will discuss this and more with Shantanu Gupta and Romil Pant. Shantanu, of course, is an expert on matters with Uttar Pradesh. Romil Pant is from Thomas Cook and exactly will pinpoint what is the kind of surge we are witnessing as far as travel and tourism in Ayodhya and overall the religious tourism fervor in the entire country is concerned. But before that, let's take it across to my colleague Sumita, who breaks it down for us, the massive shift which we are actually seeing as far as the real estate landscape of Uttar Pradesh and Ayodhya is concerned.
Let's look at rates in Ayodhya's outskirts, where average land prices in 2019 stood at 3,500 per square meter to 7,500 per square meter. In 2023, those prices have zoomed to 10,000 rupees to 15,000 rupees per square meter. But what about average land prices within the Ayodhya city? In 2019, that figure stood at 10,000 to 20,000 per square meter. In 2023, that stood at 40,000 to 60,000 per square meter. The area surrounding the temple, well, a value of that land, especially within the 5-10 miles surrounding the temple, has gone up significantly. In 2019, minimum that price was 2,000 to 18,000 per square meter, but after the Supreme Court's judgment in 2019, that stood at 10,000 to 20,000 per square meter. Let's look at price appreciation in Ayodhya's suburbs. Between 2019 to 2020, prices stood at 15,000 to 30,000 per square meter. In 2023, they've zoomed anywhere between 40,000 to 70,000 per square meter. But that's not all. In the lead up to the Ram Mandir inauguration ceremony, UP government also initiated infrastructure projects amounting to 30,000 crores. In fact, just last month, Prime Minister Modi himself inaugurated projects worth over 15,000 crores, including the new airport, railway station as well. A new separate four-lane highway linking Ayodhya with Prayagraj is also being planned and will be built at a cost of around 400 crore rupees. So lots of plans being made. In fact, there are plans of the administration making Ayodhya an EV city, developing separate charging infrastructure, a separate corridor for EVs. Developers suggest that real estate prices may see further appreciation of 45% on a year-on-year basis. So Ayodhya's story is one story that's only going to zoom from here on.
Thanks very much, Sumita, for that. Romil and Shantanu, thank you very much, both of you, joining us on the show today. It is a special occasion for the country as well as for business which is being conducted in Uttar Pradesh. So let me come to you, Shantanu, first, because one overall view, you understand the economy, you understand Uttar Pradesh's background, cultural background. It is a special thing which is gripped the entire state, and it is being felt on the economic front as well. Some indication Sumita was bringing us from the real estate side. How are you looking at this phenomena which has gripped the state right now?
If you see the life of Sri Ram, he started as a king from Ayodhya, as the exiled king from the Ayodhya, and based on his conduct, his honest conduct, his truthful conduct, when he came back after 14 years, he was called Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram. So he started as a king, came back as God Ram, and his 14 years of perseverance, right? That how exiled king with his exiled wife and Lakshman brother, how they sailed through, they learned, they upskilled themselves, they upgraded themselves, met multiple gurus, learned Shastras, Warcraft, and then beaten a unbeaten army of Ravana and came back, right? And with the right conduct, following all the dharmas of Vanvas and Yuddha, they came back and established the tradition of Ramarajya, which even Mahatma Gandhi talked about, right? So he gave the lessons on almost every realm of life, from how to run a statehood, how to run a family, how to be a colleague, how to run a war. So he established the principles of morality, which is smartly quoted by Rishi Valmiki in Valmiki Ramayana. So that perseverance of 14 years, now the perseverance for the temple is almost 500 years. That a big battle was learned by Hindus for 500 years.
Shantu, I'd like your opinion on the religious tourism which is gripping the nation right now, and the Ayodhya 2.0 and Pran Pratishtha at the Ram Temple is only adding to that. But before that, Romil, at Thomas Cook, you would have data, the inquiries which are coming in not only for Ayodhya but for other places like Ujjain or even Kashi. This time round, we saw that the footfalls in Kashi were much higher than even popular destinations like Goa. What are your thoughts? What kind of data are you reading?
Firstly, thank you so much for inviting me on this forum. It's not just a pleasure, so to say, but an honor on this day when on 22nd January the whole Ram Mandir will be dedicated to this country. It's a proud thing for us to be a part of that initiative. You're absolutely right. There is a very significant jump as far as the whole religious tourism sector is concerned. And that actually is not limited to Ayodhya, but as you rightly said, there is a lot of impact on Mathura, on Prayag, on Varanasi, Ujjain, and even down south, because the whole pilgrimage concept has suddenly taken very big shape as far as we are concerned, or as far as our understanding is. In fact, we are seeing almost an incremental jump every day, and we have crossed the inquiry of pre this phase number by almost 1,000%. We've seen a huge demand coming in from for Varanasi, a huge demand coming for Prayag. To the extent that internally some of us have started calling it the new emerging golden triangle in that sense, because there are people who want to do all three together, and we are seeing a very significant jump there. As far as other places are concerned, yes, Ujjain is big. Yes, Somnath is becoming bigger by the day. Down south, there are a lot of temple sites. In Kerala, I think the Prime Minister is there tomorrow. That is becoming bigger. So we are seeing a resurgence as far as pilgrimage tourism is concerned. And one most important thing which I would like to point out, it is not a resurgence from a particular age group or a particular kind of person. Everybody, right from millennial to senior citizens, are wanting to experience this. So this is a very different trend from which what we've seen so far. We get inquiries not just from senior citizens, which is usually associated with pilgrimage, but also from millennials to do this activity this year, post December. So that's what our search trends are suggesting. That's what our internal data is suggesting, and that's what we are seeing in the market.
Romil, you're representing a company which is so deeply ingrained in the travel ecosystem. You would have partners in other lines or similar associate ancillary lines like hotels, like logistics. Do you think that this phenomena which is gripping the country is not temporary in nature? Does it appear structural? And if it does, are your partners across in the ecosystem also moving towards this opportunity in a much more structural fashion?
Absolutely. What we are seeing is a surge in demand, not just for the hotels, but I think there will be a significant impact, not just in Ayodhya on employment, but across all these big destinations from pilgrimage perspective, whether it is restaurants or transporters or even tour guides, local shops. And I think the whole infrastructural shift which has happened in Ayodhya will cascade down to other destinations. Some of it is already happened. Some work in progress, like Ujjain is now a wonderful example of what infrastructural shifts can lead to in terms of economic growth. So that is a significant impact. Kashi has seen a lot of infrastructural growth, which is able to support increased tourism. Uh, it starts with Dev Deepavali usually, but now I think throughout the year, Kashi will see a surge. Prayag, which was hitherto a little lesser, we are seeing improvements there in infrastructure, in hotel availability, restaurants, transport. Quality of transport was a big challenge couple of years back, but in all these places, we are seeing a cascading impact across. With religious tourism coming in. And I think this coupled with the religious tourism, coupled with the economic growth, coupled with the entire Swachh Bharat initiative, I think is poised to take pilgrimage tourism to a different level as far as this country is concerned. And not just now in 2024 because Ayodhya is there, but I think it will be a cascading impact lasting decades as far as we see it in the market.
Shantanu, what are your thoughts on religious tourism trends which are taking shape, and also do you think that maybe right now the focus because of the Pran Pratishtha event is on Ayodhya, but gradually this will actually have a multiple locational effect across the country? Shantanu?
It's already happening. Let's say Kashi has seen after the temple was renovated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and to our surprise, someone who touched this temple was almost 270 years back, earlier by Holkar, because these temples were invaded, broken from Somnath to Kashi to Ayodhya. A lot of these temples were invaded and broken by the invaders. And 270 years back, earlier by Holkar touched these temples and renovated them. And then came Narendra Modi, Yogi Adityanath, and the current dispensation, which is finally touching the culture heritage of India and rebuilding them, renovating them, right? So when Kashi Vishwanath temple was renovated, from then to now, the data shows that the number of tourists, the number of Shraddhalus, number of devotees that are coming on is 7 to 8x, right? And that money that comes into tourists goes to every sector, from tourism to, they also eat a chola puri and a chai in a tea stall. They also use an auto rickshaw. They also use a taxi. So from a lower end of economy to the higher end economy, it touches everywhere.
That's correct, Shantanu. You brought a very interesting point. Even a cup of tea matters, which is spent there. One dona of chola puri spent there actually adds to the economy of the city, the ecosystem, and of course, hence to the entire state. Do you think that this will trigger a nice cascading effect on the economy, on the state for decades to come? Shantanu?
When you see the new Ayodhya plan, where more than 1,000 acres of land is acquired by the government, there is a plan for grand museums, a lot of study centers for Ramayana, which international study centers from Ramayana, a lot of multimedia centers from Ramayana, different kinds of gate like Hanuman Gate, Rama Gate, Sita Gate, Hanuman Gate. All of that will be coming up. Multiple hotels are coming up. From Taj to Marriott to Radisson, multiple hotels are coming up. Libraries are coming up, research centers are coming up. So I think it'll be a very different place down the line, and not far away, like 3-4 years. Earlier, there was not much point to come to Ayodhya. Ayodhya did not have a hotel or a taxi. Now it has an airport, it's an international airport. Maharishi Valmiki International Airport. It's an amazing railway station now. Now trains like Vande Bharat are going on. So a lot of different elements of economy are coming there. I'm sure a lot of now currently it's a very government managed plan, and once the infrastructure is there, I'll see a lot of private parties like hotels, like the experience industry, like events, like literature festivals, like dance events, cultural events will come up. So it'll be a huge cultural economy in the years to come.
Romil, I'd like your opinion on this. The government across states as well as the center, along with corporates, have taken massive initiative for setting up quality infrastructure so that the economic, the economy can also, the wheels of economy can wheel in motion, and also the people who are visiting and flocking to these locations have the least any kind of disadvantage or inconvenience. But what are the other challenges which we will have to face as a country and overcome in terms of infrastructure, in terms of clearances, so that expansion and investments can flow in seamlessly, so that we can truly take the numbers, the volume numbers of visitors in these religious locations to, say, global standards, something, what happens in Vatican every year, millions of people, or Mecca, millions of people all across the world come in. How can we take our game higher?
Firstly, let me say that I completely agree with what Shantanu ji said in terms of the impact of tourism, and I also briefly talked about that. But your question is extremely valid. What we have seen with Ayodhya coming up, and as a little precursor, what started happening is Kashi, is the direct impact of central and state initiatives into promoting tourism. So the way the whole concept has got executed and will continue to get executed uh, will help more and more people to come. So simplest example is the airport. The airport today, probably once the airlines started coming in, and they have started coming in from Delhi, Ahmedabad, and increasingly, I'm sure other uh, airlines will increase frequency because the demand is so high. Just to give you an example, the airfares uh, are already much higher for direct flights versus indirect flights. So as the infrastructure grows and the demand grows, there will be more airlines coming in. As airlines will come in, there will be more employment generated, not just for the airlines, but also ground handling, for transport, for taxis, for restaurants and hotels. As hotels start coming in, there will be more demand for employment. Local sightseeing, which means the local economy in terms of where in terms of the restaurants will get benefited, in terms of tour managers will get benefited, in terms of guides will get benefited, in terms of simplest of the thing, even the kirana store and stores get benefited. But in order to do that, the way infrastructure has been created will have to be done consistently. Uh, for example, in Ujjain, there might be a need again for an international airport. In Ayodhya, the way the airport has been built, inaugurated, and created, the flights are have started coming in. Varanasi is connected internationally, but domestically there will be more flights that will be required, and for that, continuous upgradation of the infrastructure will be required. Road and train services will be required. I think there is a plan to already launch Vande Bharat in any very shortly into from Delhi to Ayodhya. But there will be overnight trains which can fuel in even more from down south. Ayodhya is something which is very revered across the country. So more transport infrastructure, more hotel infrastructure will be required, and most importantly, ensuring that, like rightly you said, ensuring that the customers or the travelers who come there, the pilgrims, the devotees, the Shraddhalus who come there, do not face any on-ground issues, whether in terms of accessing of the temple or any other challenges, which sometimes tend to become a little unnerving when Indians go to some of these destinations, some of the other pilgrimages. I think the way the state government has gone about it, the way the central government has gone about it, is a phenomenal effort they have put in, and that effort will have to be sustained throughout this period continuously in order to for people to uh, accessing this and grow to the level, like you rightly said, today a Vatican has, or maybe some of the other religious pilgrimages sites across the world have. Connectivity, infrastructure, and ease of reaching there is the key to the development in all.
Right. Romil, Shantanu, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on this very
Thank you so
special
much.
telecast at ET Now, Ayodhya 2.0. The focus on infrastructure, the focus on UP, and the economic effect it can have in the ecosystem. But the India Inc. is also watching this event very closely. This mega event is set to attract the who's who of India Inc. Who are the biggies and what are they saying about the invite? Some of them are showing it off on the social media with a lot of pride. My colleague Aishwarya brings us this story.
The notable names who will be attending the ceremony includes Mukesh Ambani, Kumar Mangalam Birla, Tata Sons Chairman N. Chandrasekharan, Adani Group's Gautam Adani, Piramal Enterprise Chairman Ajay Piramal, Raymond Group's Gautam Singhania, TVS Chairman Venu Srinivasan, and from the promoter family of Bharat Forge Group, Baba Kalyani as well as Amit Kalyani, MCure Pharma's MD and CEO Satish Mehta, L&T's CMD SN Subramaniam. Apart from that, those who have tweeted about this invite includes the former HUL CEO Sanjeev Mehta, RPG Group's Chairman Harsh Goenka, Now, what's inside the box is interesting. It has adorned paper booklets, Ram depiction, as well as the photograph of the Ram temple. It also has remnants of the soil that was first extracted during the foundation laying ceremony. It has a little bit of history of the temple and the schedule of the event. As far as other people who will be attending, the big names includes Sanjeev Kapoor, and we'll be going across to him shortly to see what's inside the box, and he will tell us how it felt when he saw the invitation for the first time.
Thanks very much for that, Aishwarya. Clearly, the Who's Who of India Inc. is looking forward to be attending this mega event. So this is all we have in this special episode. But before we go, there's a lot of activity which has also happened or starting to happen in the neighborhood of Ayodhya, which is Banaras or Varanasi. The economic revival has surged the Kashi Vishwanath corridor, or some of our guests were also talking about. And that is also attracting a lot of record numbers, because a lot of visitors are thinking that when I'm going to Ayodhya, might as well pay a visit at the Kashi Vishwanath temple as well. So this is also a special story around that. Thanks very much for watching this special telecast. Jai Shri Ram.